Good evening. This is Carol Hofstas, Chair of the Open Space and Recreation Committee, and I want to call the meeting to order at 7 p.m. on 29 August 2024, and I'll take a roll call.
George Sullivan, present.
Emmy Hoff, present.
Veronica Kell, present.
And Carol Hofstas, present. This meeting is being recorded and will be up on YouTube, I guess. I have no additions or deletions. And did anybody have a chance to look at the last minutes?
I did. I thought they were fine.
Yeah, Sam.
Ones that you sent out to us.
Yeah.
Very brief and to the point. Excellent.
That's all you're going to get from me is very brief and to the point. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Go ahead, Veronica.
I move that we approve the minutes for July 25th, 2024.
Second.
Okay, and can I take a vote?
Emmy Hoff, yes.
Veronica Kell, yes.
George Sullivan, yes.
And Carol Hofstas, yes. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I guess on 2.2, we were going to review the action plan and place the goals and objectives in priority order. And you weren't here when we were discussing it, Emmy, but I got clarification from the state that instead of, I thought they wanted us to number them 1 through 38 or however many there are, but if you have gotten to section 9 in the plan, that column that says time frame, it will say like ongoing or there's a date there. Instead of, we're going to be able to put high, medium, and low against each one of those items. And high would be 0 to 3 years, medium was 3 to 7, and low was something 7 years out.
Okay. All right. I have it up on my computer. I can actually make the changes in it, and then we can go along if you want me to.
Yeah, that would be great.
I'll just make them in red so that we can go back and just double check and make sure we've got it right, or make them in blue or something like that.
Okay. So if we wanted to just go down, starting with goal A in number 1, I mean, a lot of these say ongoing, so would that be 0 to 3 years, a high priority?
Well, yeah, because it's protecting private wells from contamination and drawdown, so that's definitely a high priority. Like, we want to keep doing that, and that's a forever sort of deal.
So right. We'll just put an H in there.
Okay.
Right.
So do we think all the ones that say ongoing should just be H's?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, anything that's ongoing.
Right.
So all the ongoings, we're just going to do H.
All the way through?
Well, if they're ongoing, doesn't that mean that somebody's doing some action with them?
Well, yeah, but I don't know that is it a high priority for the Board of Health?
Well, I'm not sure. She didn't say. All she said, this is what the state said. If we put an H there, it means that this is something that's being done in year 0 to 3. If it's medium, it's being done in year 3 to 7. And if it's a low, it's being done 7 years out.
Plus.
7 plus. Yeah, 7 plus years would be.
Right.
So if it's ongoing.
Well, so I would think, though, in number 2, developing a template plan for residents to manage their septic system would be 0 to 3. But
those are the definitions the state gave us.
Right.
So I can't change those definitions.
No.
The state.
No, I mean the ongoing part where.
Okay.
So for 2A, where it's ongoing, I would think that would be 0 to 3. But for and same thing for B would be 0 to 3, but investigate other septic system alternatives that are more environmentally friendly. That could be a 3 to 7.
Except
Right.
we
Okay,
have it
yeah.
now, we have it at 2023 to 24.
Right, you gotta change that.
So
Yeah,
do we
so
want
we
all
can-
of these to be like on the Board of Health to get it done in the next 0 to 3 years? Is that the plan for that?
Looks that way.
I mean, those, I don't know who put those years in. I think, I don't know
I
how the
think-
years,
Well, that
23.
seems like high priority. That would be 0 to 3. The same with the low salt areas in number 3, which is 2023, 24. I mean,
Right. Those ones I would definitely think would be like the 2023, 24. Obviously, that's we're already saying that needs to be happening now.
correct.
okay, all right. Okay, so now we're down to number 4.
That should be H, high.
Okay. And number 5,
Okay, that should be always.
I know. I have a hard time with this high, medium, low because it's one of those things it's not like going to be done in 3 years. Like it's something that should be
Right.
happening. And are they thinking of like when we're going to start really working on it? Or
I mean, let me,
If you look at 5, acquire parcels within public water supply zones 1 and 2 that become available. Well, you want to do that when they become available. That doesn't, I mean, are we committing to do this within 0 to 3 years? This really is ongoing.
and just like developing the brochure for residents at 4A. Okay, is developing a brochure really high importance? Yes, do I want it done in the next 0 to 3 years, but is it high importance? Not necessarily.
Um,
I mean, yes, do I want it done? Like I said, but do I consider it like a high priority to develop a brochure? Like, get it done, No.
Okay, is that, okay, to develop the brochure, is that something you want to do in the next 0 to 3 years? Or is it something you want to do later? Think of it that way.
who's doing it? The water
Yeah, it's
department?
Water Department Conservation Commission with the school district.
Have they done, do you know if
Let's
they've
put
even done
H.
it?
Let's put
Okay.
H.
Yeah,
mean,
I
zero to
put H in
3.
there. I'm updating it with H
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I'd like them to get it done, but again, I guess our definitions are, I find it weird that they're creating the priority according to
when
a
you're
time
gonna,
frame.
yeah. I know, I thought it was weird too, but that's what the state agreed to, so,
Well, just tell them it's ongoing. Just tell them, they're just gonna leave it there.
so,
Put
yeah,
HML.
No, just leave it, yeah, it's
I
ongoing.
mean,
They're
all,
doing it.
because all the ongoing ones.
Yeah, they're all,
To
yeah,
me, if it's ongoing, somebody's doing something with it.
correct. But who put the ongoing on there? You don't know that.
No, I don't know who put the
But the,
ongoing
look at
on.
the, apply for grants, it's ongoing. They're always doing that. Somebody's doing that.
I think that's pulled over from the last
The last one.
iteration, yeah,
Right.
of this document.
I mean, we could go through them and see, and maybe some of them really aren't ongoing. We could just go through and see whether we believe they're ongoing and if they're ongoing, then we'll just put an H there.
Okay, number 5A, can I say something about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should really be 2 sentences. Continue contributing to conservation land fund, period, if it exists. And then increase public awareness of importance of land protection. That's a separate thing. We don't contribute to the conservation land fund by increasing public awareness. Those are two separate.
Okay, yeah, I got that. So if I find out that there is no more conservation land fund, would that come out?
If then we want to create a conservation land fund, because we have no way to purchase land right now in town. Where does the money come from? We don't have a way to do it. If CPA passes in November, then we do. But currently, without that conservation land fund, unless we get a grant, and we don't even have funds in our budget to match a property purchase.
We don't have funds. We don't have funds to run the town. So
I'll find out if that conservation land fund still exists, and if it doesn't,
I'm gonna find out for you about that and see if there's any money left in there.
Put two H's on there, H and H, put a comma in there
Yeah.
by the land fund.
yeah.
Comma, asterisk, and then next
Well,
question.
we could make that A, B, C.
There you go.
Yeah, not just
A, B, and B.
A, B,
There
C.
you go.
So B would be increased public
Right.
awareness, and then C would be
Right.
apply for grants, and then
Alright,
we
so I
could
just
just
did a note that says, I'll send this out to you guys. I just did a note in the PDF. It's a comment that says, does land fund still exist? ? And then separate into two sections. And I highlighted the second.
Period.
Yeah,
Yep.
That
Okay.
sounds
Okay.
good.
yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds good. Okay, so now we're down to goal B, objective 1. Protect land abutting the Squanicook River. And this is, again, we'll have to find out if there is a conservation land fund.
Okay. So this one's sort of all like, just wait and see if that, because I've got, but the applying for grants to purchase parcels, we're keeping that as a high priority, right? Because we're just sort of like, hey, is that
Yeah.
a thing that's happening?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Back to text. All right. And then let me get into the next page. You guys are on. So we're now at contribute contributions. That again, that all matters about this land fund, right?
Right.
Right.
All right. So that's another, that's part of that. But it does say, so in the world that it does exist,
Yeah.
is that still going to be considered a high 0 to 3?
It's ongoing. Yes, I would say yes, because if
Like
something
almost everything we have is ongoing. So at some point we need to make some harder decisions, like what can we really do in 0 to 3 years?
If a piece of property comes up within the 3 years, then we would do it. But if a piece of property doesn't come up, then you can't do it. I mean, unless
So can we do like
actively go out
Can
and
we do like H-M-L? Like
that's
so that
what
it's like,
I think, because it's really ongoing. So I would do H-M-L because you don't know when that, certainly if it were to come up tomorrow, we would be on it.
All right, for this one, why don't we do HML?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. I'll go with that for HML.
They might not like that, but anyway.
Well,
No,
to
I
me,
mean,
the
well-
ongoing was more important than trying to come up with this year thing. Ongoing is like, somebody's doing they're doing all this.
I know, and to me, the highest priority was goal A. If I was looking at this, I would look at everything. Goal A was your higher priority, and then
so-
B, and then C and D. I thought it was in priority
And when
order,
you
the
read
way
through-
it was.
When you
but-
read through them, it makes sense that people are looking at all these,
Yeah,
be it a 3-year window or a 4-year window. They're doing something on every one of these.
well, yeah, because you want to protect the.
You're right. You look ahead and you'll say, wait a minute, these are all things that everybody's watching out for.
Well, yeah, because keep clear of
Sure.
trash, reduce the, salt road. I mean, you're gonna do that all the time. I mean, they're all. Keep the rivers clear of trash and debris. I mean, these are like all H's, as far as I could tell.
So can we look at 1B? I think
One
we
B,
change some wording there. It should read secure interests in land with conservation and agricultural restrictions or development rights, not as well as conservation. So,
security with conservation, okay.
yeah, so once you obtain the property, then you want to protect it in perpetuity.
Right. Okay,
Let me take care of that then. You want to add text.
And I don't know, I agree with George, the ongoing makes sense. I mean, you can't say you're going to do this within 3 years unless you get a piece of property within 3 years.
yeah,
So,
So it's, they're all the ongoing to me makes it look like you're aware of these and paying attention to them.
them, yeah,
Right.
so
You-
make
you
that
might-
HML.
We're doing, exactly, you're doing all of that on all, you know, not all of that, I mean, it that way, you're paying attention to everything on this.
that's why.
Everybody is, you know?
All right, let's look at it a different way. So when this was set up as goal A, B, C, D, and E, was like goal A, like the first priority goal? Is that how this worked?
I
Does
wouldn't-
anybody know?
I wouldn't, it could be just like we're talking today, we're just adding to it, you know?
Because I was gonna say, you can almost just. I agree with you, ongoing just makes
Well, it's like down here, you review planning board regulations and blah, 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 you're doing that all the time. It's all the time.
It is all
Right,
the time.
and that's a plus, it's, you don't wanna give it a low.
No,
No, if that's what they're asking for.
I mean, we can look, the ones that have actual dates.
Yeah, somebody put those on there,
Yeah, somebody put those
but you
on
gotta
there.
jump up the date, you gotta jump up like number
Those
3.
could be M's actually, mediums, 3 to 5 years, 25 to 28.
Yeah, they didn't give, yeah, 3 to 7.
Yeah, some of those could be, I don't know, do we want to put HML against all the ongoing?
Why not?
I can just put HML for all the ongoings. I mean, that works for me, because that's really what that means. I mean, that's what it
Yeah,
means.
right.
Yeah, no,
It is.
and I agree, I agree.
Everything is being done here. It's,
So the only ones we really need to look at are the couple of, that actually have years in them.
All right, give me a second to get there.
Okay, good, but otherwise I agree, HML against
Yeah,
all of them,
they're all-
because,
it's,
and,
I see somebody here, like number 2, they put down 2025 to 2028. Okay, well, that's H. It's so. Yeah, 3 years.
3 years,
Somebody did it.
well,
So
okay,
somebody put down the years they're doing it.
yeah,
All right, so let's see here. All right, I can go back and change those ongoings. If we're going to 24 through 28, that's an ongoing. I'm assuming I'm going to just change that one to HML. Is that
Yeah.
that first one? Paste. And then at 24 to 27, that would be our HML. But now we're at 25 to 28. So so this 24 to 27, do we change that to just H?
Yes.
Now that we're at
somebody
that.
did.
So that's
Sure.
just H. And then, oh, what did that do? Hold on.
Still 3 years.
it's still 3 years.
They're all
It's 20
3.
It's 2024 now.
So somebody put these years in here that had it in their mind.
24, 28, so that's 4 years. The one that's you could almost put a medium there, but
Right, so
Let's
that's what I'm saying. Are we doing are we considering that 25 since it's going further? Are we going to consider that one our M and then this one that's
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So the 24 to 27 is H, and then the 25 to 28 we're going to go into M.
I
well,
agree.
the 20, yeah, well, the 24 to 28 could be an M, because that's 4 years,
Right.
which is objective number 1. And then 1B could be H, because that's 3 years.
Right, no,
And then,
well, it's already, it'd be 25 by the time they look at this.
and then 25 to 28 could be M, because it's 24, so that would be
Yeah, but by the
4
time
years.
it's August, by the time they look at this, it'll be
Well,
H.
yeah, but so we have a couple of M's in here to make it look good.
All right.
And then, so then the only low would be
The
the
24 to 31.
31.
Sure, yeah, okay.
And then we're back to HML. And there's one that's just 2025, so that could just be H.
Yeah, it would be, yes, yep, yes.
And then the last one is the 2024-25 could just be H.
So the one that's just 25 that says it's funding source volunteers and it says 2025, where are we doing that? Is that M?
No, make that H because I
Yeah.
think
Just make it just a plain H.
Okay, and then the 24 to 25 is also a plain H, correct?
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then we're down to the ongoing. Okay, paste my HML. Paste my
Well, the
HML.
number 1, publicize trails and parking for open space and recreation facilities. I
Yeah.
think we should make that an H.
Just H. I agree.
Okay.
And then maintain existing access points.
That should be an H
That's
also.
an HML. That should be
That's
an
an HML, right? All the
You
time.
always want to do that. Ensure
Yeah.
areas are clear and debris free.
Yeah.
That's like a continuous thing.
Yes.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah. Can I go back up to, sorry guys, can I go back up to really quick to 5A, the continued contributions to conservation land fund? Again, we don't know if there's a land fund. I'm just gonna put that through.
Oh, yeah, just
Say
put a
hi.
question, yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me just change this up. Okay, so that one's still a conservation land fund situation. We don't know what's going on with that yet.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Okay, so let me just finish up these ongoings and make sure that I'm on the same page as all of you guys. Okay, so my last page of this, I've got, maybe we just go back here. Text. So this is, so I'm on page right now, I'm looking at 1A, inventory and monitor surface areas with noxious species. That's a high. That's
Where are
an
you
H.
at?
Is
Where
that
are
an
you-
HML? I'm sorry, I'm under goal C, protect and
Goal
maintain the
C.
quality of all surface water. So we're
Goal
going,
C.
those are all ongoing. So are those all HMLs?
I believe so.
You guys want to take a quick look through and make sure?
um,
Do you see anything that is more so than another?
Okay, so 2A, I believe that is a high. I think they're doing that right now with the MVP grant that the town just got.
Got it.
The inventory map stormwater structures townwide and fix any problems that arise. I think that's an H.
Yep.
okay,
The B, that's an HML.
That's an HML. Yeah.
what about C? the state highway department to improve stormwater runoff along Route 119. Is that
I would think
ongoing? Or
I
is
would think
that,
that should just be an H, just
That
high.
should be in,
That should be just something
yeah.
that gets done. Let's just get it done. It's a one-off thing to do. It's not something that's gonna be
okay,
like a project.
okay.
So, the next one, number 3, is the planning board even looking at low impact development when they evaluate subdivisions?
I don't know. Tell you the truth.
You're an H&M.
Evaluate low impact
They will be.
development techniques.
Is that something that's coming down the line? So do we do that as an M and L?
I know we have the stormwater,
No, it's not.
applications that we review, but I'm not sure. I don't even know what low impact development even means. I'll have to,
Okay, if this is staying in, that should be an H then.
'Cause I can put a question mark there and we can talk to somebody and see what they say at the land use.
yeah, yeah,
Let me just put a question mark in there and I'll highlight it so we know it's something we have to go into.
Right.
yeah.
Okay, got a little highlight on that one. Okay. And I'm just question marking it so that we know what we're doing. And let me just, I'm gonna do a little note that just says contact planning board on it.
Yeah, I'll talk to Beth
Okay,
on that.
or contact land use. Content, land use, sorry.
Yeah, it would be with either Jessica or Beth I'll talk
Yeah.
to.
I can chat with Jess tomorrow even. Okay, so I think I got that in there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Are any of these other ones things that we need to follow up with somebody else to know what we're doing with them?
You mean under
anything-
C, under goal C?
Yeah. Is there anything else in there we need to check on? See if it's even on their radar, like is conservation or highway, is it even on their radar to contact the state highway department? Is that something that we want to put into their bug in their ear, I guess, once this is cleared? Because we do have that as a high. Is there anything else in there that we need to worry about whether or not that's even happened?
I don't know what the Conservation Commission is doing with invasive species anymore.
Okay, so we'll leave
I
that as what we consider it a priority or where we consider their priority for it. And then obviously we can make changes as needed. But I mean, if we're primarily HMLing, we're sort of giving them the option to
Right.
Yeah, and
work on it at their pace.
the way
Or
I
as
see
things
it,
come.
even if we were to say, oh, it's high, and between 0 and 3, you have to go out and remove invasive species, they come back.
They come back, you're doing it again. You're doing it again.
Do it again and again.
Right. Right.
So I know we did Phragmites in like 2016, 2017, that time frame, but I'll bet they came back in the, river out in West Townsend. So it's hard to say, oh, we're going to do this now and it will be done. It will never be done.
Right.
It's just like weeding my garden is never done.
So I bounced around a little bit. I went back up to page 81 where it's the ensure your septic system brochure is distributed to all residents. I made that just an H. That's not something that needs to take 3+ years to do.
Right.
It's your septic system. We know which residents in town have a septic system. It shouldn't take 3+ years to distribute a brochure to the residents, or even just put them on the table at town hall and at wherever
Or
else.
send them
They
out
could
in the
pick one up.
tax bill or put it on the website.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That one should be like just out the door, right? Like that's just like just done, not doesn't need to take forever and a year to get it done,
Yeah, I agree.
right? Because so what I'm doing right now, as we're sort of going through this, I'm looking at those things that are like the one-offs. It's just, okay, let's just get this brochure out the door. Let's just get this thing done. Like it's not something that should really
Take a lot of
be
time.
something that's like gonna take forever. Like even develop the brochure for residents and put it in the info and what have you. Okay, that doesn't need that one, I'm sorry, is 4A. So that doesn't need to be ongoing. It's a brochure they need to develop. Let's say we want it to be done in the next 3 years. Like it's
Okay.
just develop a brochure and send it out. We want it to be done in 3 years. It shouldn't take more than 3 years to develop a brochure. If it does, that's the problem.
Okay.
I have Canva. I'll make the brochure. Like I don't know what to say. Like
No, it shouldn't take forever.
that's what I
Shouldn't
mean.
take
Like
very,
that's a one-off. So
Yeah.
even though it's an ongoing, it really isn't. It's like it's a brochure. Let's make it. Let's get it out the door if that's what we're looking to do with it. Some other things like applying for grants to purchase parcels. That we should keep going. Like we should
Yeah.
always be
Right.
looking at grants. We should always be trying to find these sorts of things. So
Right.
that makes sense.
H.
Is there anything
Yes.
else in there that looks like a one-off, you guys?
no, I'm not seeing anything.
That all looks, I mean, everything else seems to look like it should be what we put there. Either it's the HML or it's just
H.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
H or just M, right?
yeah.
I mean, I don't think we're putting much on there that would, like, why would we put it on the plan if we're not even going to look at it for 7 years? So that kind of seems silly. Okay. All right. Okay, sorry. I had to plug my phone or plug the computer in. Okay. Is there anything else on there that we need to look at? Those all look about right.
Looks okay.
Okay. What is this A one here? Oh, that's already high. You already gave me that one. Sorry. I can only, by splitting my screen, I can only see like this much of the document at a time. So I'm having to go back and forth to see what's matching. And I've got a kind of killer headache. So I'm trying to refocus between the transition glasses and the headache and the screen. I'm like, I'm definitely having technical difficulties today. I'm feeling my age. Okay, let me see here. All right, I think that's it for those ones, right? All right, so now are we going down to the next goal F?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So are we still at the 24-25 is going to be an H period? Like it's just going to be an H. That's what we've already decided, correct?
Yes.
Right.
All right. I'll work on doing that. If you guys want to look at the ongoings and see if any of those are not HML and should be H or M instead. Just because it takes me a little bit, I'm cut and pasting and typing in.
See, both of those, B and C, begin with the word continue.
Right.
So I would do HML for those two ongoings.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then what's the next, that 24-25, what's that one? That's recreation, right?
Yeah, that's for looking at available town lands.
Yeah, that's a high priority.
I think that's an H, yeah.
Well, it is. I mean, it's something that we talked about putting an eye out for.
Right.
Okay, and then 25, 27, is that what we decided to be M, or is that, oh geez, I just lost my screen. Hold on.
Um,
25, 26, I think that's high. Identify a suitable site for a multipurpose park.
Yeah.
Community rec-
Yeah, that's for the.
Yeah, that was a high priority. We wanted to see about getting something going for the community.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay, identify funding source and apply for grants. That's just HML. I think that's like, we want to get that, like, that needs to just keep happening. Although that's almost like two separate ones, right?
Yeah, okay, so in the first one, we find the place. Second one,
Right.
we find the funding. And the
Right.
third one, we acquire and develop. So I think I would do BHCMDL. Or I'd do HHM. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna cross out this. I'm gonna get rid of the and do a note for a second sentence, another one. So we have a D. Like, so we
Okay.
have that one separated into two. If I can figure out how to do that now, because now my thing is like, oh no, never mind. You can't do that now. Okay. Oh, here it is. So identify funding source. I'm getting rid of that. And then I'm going back into text and I'm going to enable sorry, I'm talking out loud while I'm trying to think because I'm not thinking. And then we're going to make this as like a separate one, D. I'm just going to put a note in it that says create second, add a comment, create second, create another section. Great. Okay. All right, I got that in there now. Okay. So that should help us with that part, that we can know what we're doing here. I'm going to highlight that. Okay. All right. Got it. All right. Sorry. Thank you guys for hanging with me while I go through those. Okay. So we're back on that one. So that's going to be two different ones, but so the first one, we're going to be identifying a funding source and then applying for the grant. So I think that's an H, and then it's going to be an HML underneath it. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Thank you you guys are literally hearing what's happening in my brain. Well,
That's okay.
sorry. Okay. All right. So that's an H and an HML. We're going to do those as two separate ones. Okay. That makes sense now. All right. What's on the next one? That's 28 to 31. So are we in low there?
Yes.
Okay. And then we've got ongoing. That's grants, right?
New and existing.
Yep.
Yeah, although that's kind of an HML, because we do have a lot of the stuff. So I think that one's an HML. Does that sound right, Ronnie, to you too?
Number 4A.
Yeah.
And I'm confused though. I would combine, it says ongoing and then the next one is blank. I think that we need to take out that line all the way across there, that this is all part of 4.
Right. Oh, I agree. Yeah. I'll put a note in there.
To combine
Combine A and B.
Well, B is separate. B is down below, but
oh yeah,
where
combine.
it says 1 bake trails, 2 recreation center. That's part of the A above.
Yeah.
So that line just they need
Yeah.
to combine cells there.
Yeah.
In
Got
each
it.
of those columns.
So
Got it.
that line basically should come out, and it should
Yeah.
be after the survey, that should just be continuation after the survey.
Right. I think that's how we actually had it. And I don't know, at some point it looks like it got changed over to that, because that's not what it was. It looks like that because it says survey and then it's got like, so it looks like it should have been together.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll get rid of that line. And then B, encourage developers to use bylaw and include land for recreation or construct recreational facilities in subdivisions.
That's an HML. That's an,
Yeah.
I think that's an ongoing.
It's going to be something that we're going to want to just keep on doing as the town grows and as we move and as we.
Right.
All right. And what's that next one? All right. I think that's just an H. It's developing a list. I don't know
Yes.
that we need to.
I go with the H. I'll go with
I'm
an
just
H.
going to go with an H for 5. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So we're on to the next page.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so it looks like our ongoing is our first one. Is that an ongoing?
I think it is.
HML?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say HML.
Okay. And then that next one, we're looking at the years again, but it goes all the way to 31. So is that,
That would be an L, because it goes
that's our
out.
low, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it's an HML. You want to do it every year. Continue contributions to the Conservation Land Fund at annual town meeting.
Oh, yeah, we gotta look at that too.
That's an HML. That's every year. If we
And
have
that's a
the
highlight
conservation.
because we don't know anything about that fund right now. So that's also
So-
highlighting, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's just another spot where we see that. Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. Got it. Got it. Got it. All right. And that's an HML, yes, if that fund exists. All right. And then the 24 to 27, is that HM or is that H?
That's HML.
The whole thing? Okay.
Unless, unless we want to say, let's go out and purchase. We don't even know if we have.
We don't know. Yeah.
Okay,
If we have
Right.
that conservation land fund. I mean, you'd have to do land grants.
Yeah. So those next couple are all HMLs. That's all something that the town should be doing as a town.
All the time. Yeah,
All the
as
time.
it comes available, as things come up.
yeah,
Okay. And then we're down to the 2025 to 27 and ongoing. So what is it? Encourage trail creation.
All right, this was the trail that was being built by Ray Jackson, but it's really a problem because the property isn't conducive to a trail. It's too up and down.
So it would need to be graded to be turned into a trail.
Yeah, there would be I would put medium there.
Okay.
Medium.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
It's just going to take some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And-
sounds like if it's not just a matter of going in and tamping down trail. We're actually and marking it. It would actually need real land work to make it into a trail, is what you're saying. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Possibly even a bridge over a.
Okay.
So I would put that medium.
okay.
It's
Does that make
not.
sense to everybody?
Yeah, so,
Okay. All right. What else do we have here? Link trail systems together by purchasing strategic parcels. That's an HML.
I agree.
Acquire
Yeah.
fee interest in land conservation, and that's also HML, correct?
right.
Those are
Yes.
both that's our,
Which is low.
Yeah,
And the funding source is again the infamous Conservation Land Fund. So
right, that we,
make sure we have that.
yeah,
let's,
yes.
yeah, let's Like I said, I'm kind of highlighting those so that we can remember that they're there and sort of like mark all those spaces because there's a few of them. And we're just like, what exactly is that?
Okay.
I see the next three as HML.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Next three
Yeah,
are all HML. Okay.
yeah. 3A, B, and C.
Okay.
I mean,
Where am I? Hold on. Sorry. I just lost my screen just jumped. Okay. So, HML, these three, and the other one, they're both the conservation that, again, it's the LF, the Conservation Land Fund.
which
And then
used
the
to
last one is,
exist.
right? And then the last one is possible grants, and that one is also an ongoing because anything that's grants is really
Right.
yeah,
going to be a lifelong job.
Right.
All right. Then we're on just to make sure we're both in the same place. Goal H, correct?
yes.
Okay. Okay, so number 1 should be an HML, I would think, but number 2 is an H. Develop page on town website devoted to open space and recreation.
That is definitely an H.
That would be an H, but the other one would be an HML, the top one.
The top one, develop a brochure for inclusion on the website. No, I would put that
Oh.
as either an H or an M.
No, hold on a second. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just saw the educate part. I did not see the next line where it said develop. No, those are H and M. I think these ones should all be H because they're all like seem to be like just things that just need to be done. Like let's just get it developed, let's get it done. Let's do the thing. There's no need for us to spend 3 years again doing some of this.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think. Okay, so the 2026, that third one down, is that also, that one's an H as well? The
I think
2024
so,
to
yeah.
26? Okay,
Yeah.
and the last one, the ongoing, is that an HML or is that just an H? Oh, that's an updating, so that would be an HML.
I
All of
agree.
them.
This is
Yeah.
3A. Keep the website updated and
Yeah.
ensure transparency for projects in town, HML.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're on to goal I.
And that should be, now there was a forest management plan for Old Meeting House Park. And it is probably 10 years old now and needs updating. Because I think that cut was done around 2014. That should be high priority. We should have a forest management plan for every town property that's wooded.
Yeah.
And we should be actively, I think, using the plan and
Yeah.
cutting where we can. It would bring additional funds to the town.
Okay. I got that as H. The next one I also have as H because that's actually happening right now.
Yeah.
We're doing that. And then the continue to fund and utilize grant writer to seek and pursue funding. That's an HML, correct? For investigate grants to develop and
Yes.
repair recreation facility. That's an HML. That's a,
I
let's
agree.
keep,
Yeah.
let's just
Yeah.
do that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And quite frankly, this is just an off the cuff. If the Conservation Land Fund no longer exists and
Mhm.
CPA passes, it's possible that we could just
Change
replace,
that over. Yeah.
Conservation Land Fund with CPA
Yeah.
Mhm.
passes.
Mhm. Which would be fantastic. Okay. What's the next one? The next one is tree warden. Provide educational materials to homeowners, businesses, and developers. Promote the planting of native trees and shrubs. Okay, again, providing educational materials. I'm assuming these educational materials already exist
It's just a
under the
matter
USDA
of
or DCR. So basically one of us or somebody just needs to collect them up and stick them in locations where our public can access them. Is that correct?
yeah.
So this is just that's just an H.
Yes.
It's just, or talk to somebody over there so that we're part of their route when they go from town to town to drop off these sorts of things. Okay. All right. So now we're down to the next one. Again, let's confirm that we're on the same page here, that we're
That
on
should be a
conduct a
B.
shade tree inventory.
That should be a B because it goes with the thing above. We
right.
might need a page break somewhere to make
Oh,
that.
yes. That
work.
should be a B. That's a good catch.
And I would say that's medium.
Okay. And we're going to say M for that. All right.
Okay.
If everybody agrees with that, yeah.
Yep. I'm good with that. Let me just get into text again. And that was an M. Okay. M. Got it. Okay. And then the next one is convene the agricultural commission established by the town for its intended intents and purposes.
We
That's-
have one of those?
We
And
don't
that-
yet. One of the other actions was to create one,
Yeah.
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
it?
This is an H, and I'm pretty sure this has already happened. I'm not sure. I don't know the status, but I know that Margaret Scarsdale met with all the agricultural commissions, and that included people from Townsend. I
Okay.
think James is on that commission,
Okay.
but I would make that an H.
Okay.
K1A is an H.
Okay. Got it. That one's an H. All right. And then we're down to climate resiliency there. Continue to implement and evolve the goals and actions of the 2020 MVP and HMP plan. Okay. That's HML. Like that's just a thing that's going to keep happening.
Yep.
And then as we get it, the new ones done, then we just keep going with those, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. We on to the next page.
That's
the end of it.
That's the end of it.
Yes,
Hey, look at us go.
look at that.
All right, let me just make sure. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this with you guys. I can share it right off of Adobe with your emails. And then you guys can go in and make sure I didn't miss anything. I highlighted some things. I put in some comments and then I changed all the H's and HMLs. And you guys can just take a look and make sure that that's, that it looks the way it's supposed to look. Oh, I have one ongoing. Hold on. It looks like goal F. And it's 2C. Continue to assess and minimize any potential impacts on wildlife, wetlands, and private property for the rail trail. It still says ongoing for me. Do we want that's an HML? Since it sounds like it's something that we should be constantly looking at, or is it more like an H that we're just doing? That's something that we're doing now
That's
for specific areas of the rail trail.
I thought we had said it was HML.
Mhm.
I have the one above it as HML and the one below it as H, but that one just still says ongoing. So I didn't put anything in there. I don't know if I just missed it or if it's supposed to be HML and
I had it done as HML.
okay, got it. I might have just missed pasting there,
Okay.
but at least I'm catching it now. Okay, let me make sure the rest of these I have. All right, looks like everything else I put in, including our question marks and like I said, our comments, and I'll just share it with you guys and then you can go through and just confirm and we can do the follow-ups that we need to. Yeah, because I've got everything else in there.
Sounds good.
Okay, great.
Okay,
Thank you.
you got it. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Emmy, for doing that.
You're welcome. I just figured it would be easier for me to just put it right into the document as we're going and then we can just save it that way once we're done making those highlights and changes. And with it shared, at least that way we all have access to the same one.
Okay, that's great.
All right, I got it. Okay. Got everybody's email and I can share it. That way I can share it to all of us too. To make sure everybody on the gets it. Let me see here. Just make sure I have everybody for meeting. I have everybody's emails. Sorry, guys. Let me just check this again. Make sure I have everybody.
Okay.
So I'm showing that I have. Nope, that's just Carol. Why is not everybody else in here? It's Carol. Okay, looks like I have Dave, Ronnie, George and Nancy Sullivan, Colby, and James. Is that who I should be sharing this document with?
And Carol, do you have Carol?
It's,
Well, yeah, obviously Carol. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
obviously Carol. Yeah, is that everybody?
Yeah.
George, you got George?
Yeah, she
I got
said that.
George. Yeah.
Okay. James, Colby,
Yep.
Dave, okay.
Yep.
And Brian.
All right. So I'll
That's
share that with
everybody.
everybody. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Got it. I'm just gonna August 24. Okay. I can get it shared to you guys. Okay, I'll be able to share that. Is there anything else we have at tonight's meeting that we have to go through in this file before I send it off to everybody?
Not in that file, no.
No? Okay. All right. I will send it to everybody. There's Carol. Oh, look at you showing up already, Carol. Oh, there's Dave Vigent. Hey, look at him showing up too. What? Ronnie, how many emails do you have? For
Oh,
goodness
I
sake.
have a zillion. Which one do you have for me?
I got VCal. I got two. I got VCal. Wait a minute.
BOS?
I've got I've got VCal BOS and I had VAK.
Use the
Yes.
VCal BOS. That's what I've been doing town stuff on.
Okay,
At
perfect.
Gmail.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've got Nancy, perfect. Colby. Got it. And James. Okay. Got it. Okay, guys should be all be getting that in your email.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, got it. I think that's all right, they've all been sent out.
Okay,
They
great.
just confirmed it for me. Okay. So you guys can stick that in your file and take a look at it. And like I said, we can follow up on those couple of things. And it may be a wording thing, I think, on some of those too, like the continue, the review, the like create, like some of that I think dictates it. And some of it may just be wording that we have to look at a little bit differently.
Okay.
All right.
So we want to adjourn for the night? Otherwise, we can look at the MVP, the visit. There's really not much on the hazard mitigation. That's for the open space. I can, if you want, I can just read them or we can look at it and discuss it next time because some of them are weird.
Well, having just gone through those goals, Carol, I'm wondering why open space and recreation is in here and why it doesn't say Conservation Commission or land use, because where we're the open space and recreation document committee, we are not the town's open space and recreation committee. You know, and in our goals, we say develop such a committee of volunteers. So this pursue removal of invasive species with volunteers and local groups. We're not going to do that. We write the document.
That's what I was going to ask. I'm like, I was looking at this and I'm like, well, we're not going to go do that. I wasn't sure how this came about.
I think that and I was on the committee that wrote the MVP plan.
Okay,
And I don't think we were thinking of this committee to do it. So I'm questioning the wording, and I think it really should be either land use or conservation. I mean, reduce mosquito habitat throughout
yes.
and removing standing water. I see that as highway and maybe conservation. And then host community education programs on how to use trails safely. Well, that's really it's not this committee, if that's what they're thinking.
Okay. Yes, that's what they were thinking, because I think Jessica had asked me to look at these, and I started reading them, and I'm like, well, we're never going to go do mosquito control or remove invasive plants in.
No, once the state accepts the document that we've, been facilitating, once the state accepts that, we're done.
Yes.
So having open space and recreation as this committee in the MVP document, I agree, it doesn't make sense.
So
No,
I'm looking at where it says state forests. Like, where are you guys in this, in the MVP plan, the HMP?
It's at the
MVP?
very bottom.
Okay, I'm seeing like where it says state forest and then where it says street trees. Like all of those we want to highlight and send this back and tell them that needs to be removed because we're not a thing. That's not a thing. Open space and recreation, that's not what we are. We are open space and recreation document, I guess, like you said.
Yeah, we're the document people, we're not going to be creating a replacement plan for lost trees.
No, I don't think we're doing that.
No, well, I mean, I don't have that ability to come up with a plan for lost trees. Or
So I'm going to highlight this to this Open Space and Recreation Commission because again, that currently is not a thing that we know of.
All right, so I'll talk to Jessica and find out how we got on there for that, because none of it makes sense for us to do any
of that. No, it's not. Our mission is to write this document,
Yes.
All right.
So
I'm gonna I just highlighted a bunch. I'll send this over to you, Carol, so that you can just pull it up and have it already red lettered or highlighted the exact spots you need to talk to her. Does that work?
Yeah, that works fine. Thank you.
I'll send this over to you right now.
Okay. So with that being said and done, I'd like to
I could make a motion to close the meeting.
George just made a motion to close the meeting, and Emmy has seconded it.
You need a vote?
And you need a vote? Go ahead, Veronica, vote.
Aye. Veronica Cal, aye.
Emmy Hoff, aye.
George Sullivan, aye.
And Carol Hoff says aye. And we close the meeting at 8:04 p.m.
Excellent.
Thank you.